The Internal Revenue Service within the United States views tax-exempt organizations as charitable, religious, or scientific, amongst many other descriptors. Along with this, the IRS also states that charitable organizations can include groups that mainly focus on the teachings or advancement of religions. The problem arises here due to the fact that our Constitution has a very strict definition of what it means to have a separation of church and state. Within the First Amendment of our Constitution, as we all know, it is stated that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibit the free exercising of religion. In simple terms, this means that our government should not create, support, or favor any one national religion, but they also cannot infringe on a citizen's right to practice any religion of their choosing. While I see the major benefits that are present with churches being classified by the IRS as nonprofit organizations, I also recognize there are negative concerns as well as drawbacks to this approach. Churches and religious organizations, while they do provide services and assistance to communities such as food relief, disaster help, as well as support for served groups. On the other hand, the separation of church and state can be called into question in a situation such as this, as it raises the potential for a lack of oversight on which is important to the topic and cannot be ignored. This is extremely complex as an issue, especially considering the political and religious climate of our country currently. One of the biggest concerns with allowing churches and religious groups to be tax exempt under the rules of the IRS is that it gives religion almost too much influence. And this can lead to extremely blurred lines between church and state. Along with this, there is a major concern that it may give these churches and different religious groups special treatment, which could also allow them to gain too much influence within public life in our country, especially considering that our country has no one defined national religion. Lastly, since churches have fewer reporting requirements than other normal nonprofit groups, this can lead to a lack of accountability overall. If a secular or non-religious organization receives tax-exempt status for the good that they do for the community, then I also see a world in which religious groups should be able to do the same, considering all the help that they give different groups of people. Excluding these groups can be seen as discrimination rather than maintaining neutrality. While there is no right answer or one simple solution to solving this issue within the United States, it is important to note both the pros and the cons with each approach. When you're looking at this from a biblical standpoint, a verse that came to mind was Matthew 22:21, in which Jesus says, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and unto God what is God's." This suggests the government and their ruling that we have on earth differs from the spiritual authority that God has over us. Along with this, I looked into the book of Matthew, specifically in verse 25, in which it says how Jesus tells us that caring for the hungry, the sick, and the poor is equal in stature to serving him.